Morning, Frank. Dummy, you've got your foot in your water. That's your drinking water. You've got your foot in it. You're not too bright, are you? Okay, I'll leave you alone. Morning, everyone. We are in Pensacola, Florida, at my aunt and uncle's house. They let me park in the driveway overnight and plug in, so I had air conditioning and had dinner with them, and it was quite a nice evening. And I decided to stay another day, and we're going to go to the Naval Aviation Museum. I believe that's what it's called. And that should be cool. Other thing, we had a change of plans. I was going to go to New Orleans for a day from here and just spend the night in New Orleans and then continue on to Corpus Christi. I've changed my mind about Corpus Christi. Just decided it's just too far to drive. I would like to go there someday and park on the beach and camp, but I'll do it at a time when I can stay longer, more than just 2 days, because it's then something like 13 or 1400 miles back to Michigan from there. That's a long way. So what I'm going to do instead, I'm going to stay here tonight, and then Monday morning I'm going to leave and go to New Orleans and spend a couple nights there. I've reserved a couple nights at a small RV park in New Orleans, and then I will, so then I can plug in there, turn the air conditioning on for Frank, and then I can just get an Uber car into town and check out the French Quarter from there. So that's the plan now. And then from there, I'll just mosey home sort of slowly, only driving maybe 300 miles a day. Just kind of take my time, see what I can find along the way, if I see anything interesting. So, because that's what RVing is really about, kind of just wandering and exploring. So that's the plan. And we will go to Corpus Christi another time. We're definitely going to go someday, just not this year. So anyway, that's all, and I'll take the camera along, check out the museum. This is the plane my grandfather flew in the war. Well, not the plane, but the type of plane. It is the Corsair. The most famous aircraft in history, the F-4U Corsair made a name for itself in dogfights over the South Pacific during World War II. Entering combat in early 1943, it shot down 2,140 Japanese aircraft in air-to-air combat during its wartime service, and served such famous units as the Jolly Rogers of Fighting Squadron 17 and Black Sheep of Marine Squadron 214. Still in service when war broke out in Korea in June 1950, Corsairs logged 107,417 combat flights from the decks of carriers and airfields scattered throughout South Korea. With dogfights shifting predominantly into the realm of jet aircraft, the vulnerable F-4Us were employed mainly in the ground attack and close air support roles. However, Navy and Marine F-4U pilots did manage to shoot down 10 enemy aircraft during the war. The Corsair was retired from frontline squadrons in 1955. Not exactly first class. I hope this thing has a bathroom. I'd be needing it. This is an F-2H-2P Banshee photo reconnaissance plane, and it has an interesting story. It's at the end of its service, it ended up being purchased by a small town to use as a display. They filled the wings and the cockpit with concrete and set it somewhere in town. And for years and years, kids would climb on it and sit in the cockpit and, have imaginary air battles with the enemy, etc., etc. And it apparently is a one of a kind. Little did anybody know how rare it is. So it was acquired by the museum in 1988, and after thousands and thousands of hours of work, they restored it. And now here it sits. You can see the condition it was in. Right there. This is how it sat in the town. You can see the kids on it. Yes. Vero Beach, Florida is where it was. This is the world's first operational jet fighter. The ME-262, which first flew in 1942. This big boy up here is the PBY flying boat. Very big plane. And down here they have a cutaway showing what the interior is like, which is very cool. We've got bunks in there. Here would be the galley. You better watch your footing. Good God. Yeah, little stove and stuff. Not a whole lot. Navigator, radioman, I'm guessing. Pilot. Amazing.